3 urgent changes the Memphis Grizzlies must make to salvage their season after J.A. Morant's loyal remarks, featuring a Michael Porter Jr. trade bombshell. The Memphis Grizzlies are at a crossroads, and it's happening faster than anyone in the organization expected. After a season riddled with injuries, inconsistency, and mounting pressure, J.A. Morant's recent loyalty remarks have sparked both hope and concern among fans. While Morant made it clear he still believes in Memphis, loyalty alone won't save this season. The Grizzlies are running out of time. If this franchise wants to salvage the year and convince J.A. Morant that Memphis is still the right long-term home, urgent changes must be made immediately. From roster construction to offensive identity, this team can't afford patience anymore. Let's break down 3 urgent changes the Memphis Grizzlies must make right now, including a bold Michael Porter Jr. trade idea that could change everything. Change number 1. Stop relying on internal growth, make a real scoring trade. For years, the Grizzlies have preached internal development. Draft well. Develop talent. Trust the system. That approach worked when J.A. Morant was healthy and the roster was deep with reliable two-way contributors. But this season has exposed a glaring weakness. Memphis desperately lacks elite, consistent scoring outside of J.A. When Morant is off the floor, or when defenses load up on him, the offense collapses. Desmond Bane is a strong secondary option, but he can't shoulder the entire scoring burden every night. Beyond that, the Grizzlies rely too heavily on streaky shooters and role players being asked to do too much. That's why Memphis needs to abandon the idea that the solution is already in the locker room. This team needs a legitimate third star or high-level scoring wing, and that brings us to the Michael Porter Jr. conversation. MPJ is polarizing, but his fit in Memphis is undeniable. A healthy Michael Porter Jr. gives the Grizzlies something they currently do not have, a 6 feet 10 inches elite shotmaker who can score without needing the ball in his hands. His ability to space the floor would immediately open driving lanes for J.A. Morant and reduce defensive pressure on Bane. Yes, Porter's contract is significant. Yes, his injury history raises concerns. But Memphis is past the point of playing it safe. If the Grizzlies want to prove to J.A. Morant that they're serious about competing now, this is the type of swing they must be willing to take. Change number 2. Redefine J.A. Morant's offensive role to preserve him long-term. J.A. Morant's loyalty remarks were powerful, but they also came with an unspoken warning. Superstars stay loyal when organizations protect them, empower them, and build correctly around them. Right now, Memphis is asking J.A. to do too much. Morant is forced to be the primary scorer, primary creator, emotional leader, and bailout option on nearly every possession. That workload isn't just exhausting, it's dangerous for a player whose game relies so heavily on explosiveness and physicality. The Grizzlies must evolve their offensive identity to preserve J.A.'s body and extend his prime. That means more off-ball action, more motion sets, more possessions where J.A. attacks after the defense is already compromised instead of initiating everything himself. Adding a player like Michael Porter Jr. or another high-gravity scorer would instantly help accomplish that. If Memphis fails to reduce Morant's burden, it won't matter how loyal he claims to be, frustration will eventually follow. Change number 3. Decide what this team actually is, defense first or offense driven. For years, Memphis built its identity around grit, defense, and relentless physicality. But this season, that identity has become muddled. The defense isn't elite enough to carry mediocre offense, and the offense isn't explosive enough to mask defensive lapses. The Grizzlies must make a philosophical decision, and commit fully. If the front office still believes this team's DNA is defense and toughness, then roster decisions need to reflect that. Defensive wings who can't shoot must be upgraded. Lineups must prioritize spacing without sacrificing toughness. If, however, Memphis accepts that the NBA is now driven by offensive firepower, then it's time to lean in. That means surrounding J.A. Morant with shooting at all costs, even if it comes at some defensive expense. A Michael Porter Jr. trade would signal that shift loudly. It would tell J.A. Morant, the locker room, and the league that Memphis is choosing offense, spacing, and star-level shot creation over conservative roster balance. Indecision is the real killer here. The Grizzlies can't afford to be caught between two identities. What J.A. Morant's loyalty really means. J.A. Morant saying he's loyal doesn't mean he's blind. It doesn't mean he's satisfied with mediocrity. And it certainly doesn't mean he'll wait forever. Loyalty from a superstar is earned through action, not words.